Hi, my name is Noni. Hi guys, my name is Noni Matigela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about the identification collapses in court, how identification collapses in court if your memory is polluted. Okay, we already did a video on this, but I want to do a second part of it where you can really understand what happens. So today, we expose how a memory shaped by trauma, altered by time, and confirmed in the doc becomes legally unsafe. Firstly, the moment a memory fails, there's nothing that you can do. There was a gun appears, panic erupts, witness flees, shots fired out of sight, memory requires attention, attention was gone. This is not weakness. This is human neurobiology. That's exactly what it is. And multiple statements, police questioning, media narratives, trial exposure, memory is not replayed, it is rewritten. So also that alone is a problem for the Senzo Meyiwa case. Now, there is a judge who must deal with all that entire situation and must put things together and try to get to a point where he understands that these people were in this traumatic situation. Imagine being Judge Rata right now. No matter how we can view him and see the things that he does in that court, but he has an approach that needs emotional stability, emotional intelligence, all the intelligence, and I choose that one can get when it comes to this case. It is everything when it comes to this case is a bit too much because we dealt with there's a lot of mask, fault line, dreadlocks, face don't court don't. Yeah, there's a lot of things that happened when it comes to Zandile's witness, but a positive identification is more important than a narrative allocation. So let's look into what Judge Rata may have or is dealing with. Ne? And because where identification is contaminated, certainty is an illusion that we cannot take away. Now, let's look at perhaps what a judge should do in a situation like that. The judge's credibility collapse where can be acquittal type of vibes. This evidence of Zandile is very problematic, guys. Okay, in a competent court, someone will come with something like the court has approached the identification evidence of the witness, Zandile Khumalo, with the caution repeatedly emphasized by courts, while the witness appeared sincere and like you heard the citations that I was giving. So there is a repeated emphasis on South African courts when it comes to that. While the witness appeared sincere and understandably traumatized, sincerity cannot substitute for reliability. That would be what a fair judge would say. And also, her own evidence establishes that she fled the scene at the critical moment, did not witness the firing of the fatal shot, and observed the perpetrators under conditions of extreme stress and limited opportunity. Her identification of an accused matured only years later, following multiple statements and exposure to the investigative and trial processes. The first meaningful identification occurred in court, rendering it inherently suggestive. Not contemporaneous identification parade or independent corroboration exists to neutralize this risk. So do you see how risky this entire situation is? And in these circumstances, the court is not satisfied that the identification evidence meets the threshold of reliability required for a criminal conviction. The possibility of honest but mistaken identification cannot be excluded. So the state has therefore failed to discharge the honors of proving the identity of the perpetrator beyond reasonable doubt. That is exactly what a fair judge would do when it comes to Zandile alone. We're still talking about Zandi. To Zandile alone, a fair judge will go like that when it comes to her evidence. And this is not an attack on a witness. It is a law protecting certainty. And where memory is contaminated, Justice demands restraint, not a conviction. So uJudge Ratha cannot be expected ukuthi find the accused guilty on something that is probably not, probably yes, probably, because the probabilities are very wow when it comes to even all three people that were inside the house that were giving evidence. But we will go to Tumelo's evidence. We will deal with Mtoko's evidence in separate videos. But for now, when it comes to Uzandile, guys, no ways. Uzandile cannot be expecting South Africans to accept everything that she did in that courtroom. No, a fair court will give us something along the lines that I just shared with you. Let me drink quickly. Thank you, guys, and sorry about that. I've been talking, so I needed that drink. So it's things like that. That one is like, Zandile, girl, are you sure about your testimony? It was not coached. You were not told what to say, etc., etc. Is this all coming from straight from your memory box? All of this, it's coming from your memory box, Mazand. So it's things like that that the court needs to guard on. And we are going to be surprised when the conviction, the verdict comes. Whether uJudge Ratha is going to discard the law as it is. The law does not agree with everything that is happening when it comes to Zandile Khumalo's evidence. The court does not, the law, South African law, does not agree with it. The way she conducted herself, the way she was, everything, it's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. We can't just, as a country, say, yeah, Uzandi went there and said, no. It is legally. What Zandi was doing here is theater. She was in theater. She was acting. She was giving a sketch. She was, yeah, man. I don't know how she was coached, because there's nothing wrong with sitting down with a witness, prepare. Okay, maybe there's something wrong with being prepared or with with being coached, but there's everything right with being prepared so that you know what you are going to deal with. Imagine, even if you are telling the truth, but still, you need to understand, but defense lawyers are not going to be kind, are not going to be nice. They are going to come very hard for you as a witness, especially an eyewitness. So, yeah, ne? The time that Zandile was there, for me, and from the research that I've done, Uzandile, the evidence, it's not something esingamisangayo. It's not something that one can be very proud of. It's not something that one can be like, oh my God, she did well. Oh my God, no. Because I remember there was a conversation, I don't remember what were they saying in court about Uzandile and evidence. And Ubalo made a comment of, we will have to revisit that and deal with it at a later stage. And I was like, Aibo, someone tell her ukuthi akuhambanga kahle, girly, akuhambanga kahle, and your theater that you were playing there, thinking that you are in state theater, maybe you were in state theater, but not the kind that was needed for court, because Ugel did act in that courtroom. We're not going to run away from that. Ugel was in acting mode. Ugel was doing all of that shade just to get by and be finished with the evidence. And she thought that she did great, and someone must tell her legally, ubhatshazile akenzanga kahle, and it's not looking good, and chances are they are going to come and fetch her at some point when the case is done, because there are things. And also, I pray that when the case is done, be it the guys are convicted or not, which I feel they shouldn't be, because of the evidence that is in that courtroom, I pray that there is going to be what you call an inquiry after this, and an inquiry that is going to result in a lot of people getting arrested for the crimes that they committed while trying to deal with this narrative of the intruder. Because the narrative of the intruder is the problem here. The narrative of the intruder is a problem, a big problem. We will definitely do a video when it comes to that and deal with everything that it comes to. Was there an intruder? If there was an intruder, then why did the US got calls that were saying something else? Do you understand? So there's a lot of things that are going on. There's a lot of things that needs to be looked into. We're not gonna sit and do nothing. We are going to come through and do everything that needs to be done. Guys, thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Please make sure you do not forget to like, to share, to comment, and most importantly, please make sure you are subscribed on the channel. Please make sure you are watching the videos up until the end and you are watching the ads that are coming through. When you are doing that, you will be supporting this channel financially and in numbers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Bye-bye.